This is Dolynny TV, guys. A big welcome back to the Toronto Blue Jays franchise mode. This is episode 13 today. And well, what did we see last time around? We ended up starting the season 18-13. But first, before we get too far into today's episode, if you're new to the channel and you're tuning in for the first time here on Dolynny TV, what I want you to do is subscribe and go back and watch the playlist. The card is available in this episode to watch the whole playlist franchise mode so far, the 12 previous, including today's episode, making it 13. And the like goal for today, we're trying to hit 25 likes. I usually go between 25 and 30. I feel 25 today, so we might as well go for it. And without further ado, shall we go take a look, overview where we are at this point of the season. We are, well, done the first month. The first month was a pretty big success, I must say. We ended up 18-13 in the month. And the lineup, well, the lineup's not where the success is, if you get where I'm coming from. Yangervis Solarte, he was alright, so was Omar Narve, who was the star of last episode by a mile. And then you've got Charlie Blackmon, 259, Justin Smoke crushing it, Randall Grichuk crushing it. Ryan Healy, this is where I'm going to give Ryan Healy some breathing room, okay? So Ryan Healy, 6 homers, 12 RBIs, 220 in 100 at-bats. You go to the Chicago White Sox. Josh Donaldson has 4 homers, 11 RBIs, 277 batting average, and 101 at-bats. So the records are very identical, but I think Ryan Healy may just be a better option once he gets his back going. He had a rough start to the year, but he gets his back going. He's going to be a great option when compared to Mr. You betcha, Mr. Josh Donaldson. Sometimes the brain gets off the tracks. I was outside, froze my head off today. It was a cold day out there, but we'll survive anyhow. And that is the lineup against lefties. So without further ado, we have a series to finish up against Houston, and then we have to get through Detroit and New York, and then the New York Mets to get halfway through the month, and we win that one, and we are in control of this one once again. Blackmon needs a triple to hit for the cycle. Get ready to run. We'll simulate to the end of the game, and we win 5-3. Richard Jansen is no longer injured. That's all right. We'll place him on the bench and continue to win a bunch of games here. The Yankees up 10-1, but Blackmon has a 10-game hitting streak. All of a sudden, he's 0-3, and the Yankees defeat us 14-2. Now, that's what got us into trouble last year, is when all of a sudden things started getting away from us. Narve has a 15-game hitting streak, if you can believe it or not, and we will win that game 4-3. What a beauty by Narve, obviously. We're in the bottom half of the 9th inning, and we just have to simulate to the end of this game, and we end up losing it 6-5, then winning that one against the Mets 9-3, and we go 27-17 on the year so far. All right, looking pretty solid. We are tied for the division lead atop the AL East with the Boston Red Sox, and by far and above the wild card position, so that is good news for us. Now, how's the lineup looking? I would imagine the lineup looks just good. Ooh, man, look at Yangervis Solarte making me look like GM of the year up there. 265 batting average. Then you got Narve, who's now hit a career high in terms of his life. Career highs now for Omar Narve, who now has 4 homers, 20 RBIs, and a 325 batting average in the 2-hole. What is this guy doing? He's absolutely demolishing it. He's plus in all the batting categories. His vision's unreal, like just unreal. Charlie Blackmon, 11 homers, 28 RBIs, 270 average. Justin Smoke has less RBIs now than Charlie Blackmon, 9 homers, 24 and 291. Randall Grichuk getting it done. Ryan Healy starting to get it turned, 9 homers, 19 RBIs, 255 batting average, in comparison to Josh Donaldson, who has 5 homers, 16 RBIs, and a 296 batting average. So Healy's looking all right. Devin Travis, 1 homer, 10 RBIs. He's struggling mightily. Enos Esparza, not crushing him like I hoped he would. I hoped this guy would just hit homer after homer, and he's really not doing that. He's down to a C potential, down from a 75 down to a 71. It's almost worthwhile benching him at this point and seeing if he turns things around in favor of somebody like maybe a Dwight Smith Jr. against lefties or against righties and see what Dwight Smith Jr. can do in the DH role for us. I'd be interested, because Alcides Escobar doing okay, and then everybody on the bench really not doing too much of anything. A couple of homers out of the bench. Every bench player has at least 1 or 2 home runs. The pitching staff, how about this? Madison Bumgarner, the real story this season so far. 198 batting average, 1.10 whip. Aaron Sanchez starting to lower that ERA. It was higher than that to start this episode. Joe Biagini, guy is struggling mightily here. 6.90 ERA, 45.2 innings pitched. Might be time to return him to the pen and figure out what we're going to do with Matt Bush, who's also mightily struggling. I don't know. Damian Hollis, 3.33 ERA, and then you've got Todd Kelly, who's a 4.60 ERA. So there's a couple options we got to mess around with here, but the middle relief is just unreal for this team. Then you've got Sungwon Oh, and the back end of the bullpen is just crazy for us this year. I love it. Let's get, without further ado, through the rest of May here and into the first-year player draft next episode. Simulate to the end of this one. They're trying to rally, and they will rally. 3-2. That's a disappointing finish. And now Justin Smoak has an 11-game hitting streak. He can extend this lead, and he does. 6-2 over top of the Twins, and we continue to win a bunch of games here. 5-4. Yangervis Solarte looking for the hit streak. Can't get it done. And now Aaron Judge looking to get something done. Tied game, but Judge can end it with a walk-off, and they do. 5-4 in that one. And now 7-1 New York. So all of a sudden we're on a little bit of a snide here. And the Yankees defeat us 7-3. Miami defeats us. And now big game here. Charlie Blackmon has to get it done. He does. 4-3 for the Blue Jays in that one. And now we get a chance to get a shutout for Aaron Sanchez with 1 inning. And he does it. All right, the Tigers won off us trade. That should pretty much wrap up today's episode. It's Nick Castellanos for Antonio Lucero. Now the thing is, Lucero, I will go back to it every single time over. He is our A potential 64 overall 21-year-old starting pitcher. No way am I giving him up for B potential Nick Castellanos, who's actually only a 78. Not happening. We have way better fielders than that. Left field's kind of a weak position right now, but we will see just how weak it is after we finish these 2 games. And we finish the month with quite a few more losses than we probably should have. But we finish on a winning note with a 5-4 victory over top of Boston, which puts us atop the AL East. Woo! Just when we thought we got a lot worse, we're all of a sudden a lot better. We're not scoring more runs than runs against, really, but we're starting to turn on the Jets enough to get the job done. The lineup looks as such. Yangervis Solarte, 6 homers, 19 RBIs. 5 homers, 26 RBIs for Omar Narve, but he's cooling off. You can see he's got a cold streak going. He's starting to get his power around on him. 5 homers, 26 RBIs, just looking unreal. And 44 hits, so he's closing in on that career high. He's more than halfway there. Charlie Blackmon, 12 homers, 31 RBIs, 275 batting average. All right. And then you got Justin Smoak, 15 homers, 36 RBIs, 8-22 for Randall Grichuk. 9-22 for Ryan Healy. He's finding his groove eventually. I don't know what he's doing. Devin Travis, 1 homer, 17 RBIs, and Dwight Smith Jr. This guy's looking like a real smart pick to have in the lineup. 74 overall, up from 70. He's starting to grow. 1 homer, 7 RBIs, like looking good. And Teoscar Hernandez starting to finally turn it around right there. That's what we've wanted to see for so long, is him to start turning around and putting up RBIs, and he is. Enos Esparza, 210 at-bats, 2 homers, 19 RBIs. Rob Brantley, a homer and 5 RBIs. So Rob Brantley, he's struggling off the bench. That's all right. Alcides Escobar doing okay off the bench, and so is Dalton Pompey, 2 homers and 7 RBIs. The pitching staff, Madison Bumgarner, hot as hot can be. 1.98 ERA remains, but he's got 93 strikeouts in 86 innings. Aaron Sanchez, that's so good. That feels so good to see after the rough start to the season. 3.86 ERA, 1.19 whip, and he's starting to come around. Joe Biagini, we need to find a solution. I need to find a solution. Obviously, moving him to the long relief role is probably the solution. And then Damian Hollis, having a worse year than last year in terms of whip and ERA, but starting to figure himself out. More wins than he had last year at this point. And Todd Kelly, really turning it on. 3.88 ERA and just coming in clutch when he needs to, I guess. Back into the pen, well, still everyone's got their 3.5 sub ERAs. Sungwon Oh starting to age down, but we'll let him age down slowly. Danny Barnes, 10 innings pitched, that's it. So maybe it's time to get Danny Barnes some time in the regular rotation. Let Tyler Clippard go to the end of the pen. And then Roberto Osuna, 1 earned run ERA average, 19 saves. This guy is electric. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 13 of the Dolynny TV Toronto Blue Jays franchise mode. I'm Tyson. As always, guys, please subscribe, leave that like, trying to hit 25. I will catch you in the next one.